Your paycheck comes in. For a moment, everything feels lighter. The rent can be paid, the card can be covered. Maybe you can finally buy that one thing you've been putting off. But a week later, the money already feels smaller. 2 weeks later, you're checking your balance before every purchase. And by the end of the month, you're waiting for the next paycheck to fix the same problem again. It doesn't happen because you're lazy. It doesn't happen because you made one huge mistake. It happens because of 5 quiet traps that feel normal while you're inside them. The first trap is the small upgrade. It doesn't look dangerous because it doesn't feel dramatic. You don't wake up and buy a mansion. You just upgrade little parts of your life. A better phone plan, a nicer lunch, one more subscription, a slightly better apartment, a few things that make life feel a little more comfortable. Alone, each upgrade looks harmless, but together they raise the cost of being you. So when your income goes up, your life doesn't always become freer. Sometimes it just becomes more expensive. The second trap is convenience. Most people don't waste money because they're stupid. They waste it because they're tired. After work, cooking feels like a second job. Waiting feels annoying, and fixing things feels like too much effort. So you order food, take the ride, replace the thing, pay for the faster option. The problem isn't one convenient choice. The problem is when convenience becomes your default setting. Once that happens, saving money starts to feel like punishment, even when you're just trying to breathe. The third trap is future money. You don't always call it debt. Sometimes it looks cleaner than that. Split the payment, pay later. Only $20 today, only $99 a month. It feels small enough to ignore, but every small payment is a tiny piece of your next paycheck being taken before it arrives. And after enough small payments, payday stops feeling like progress. It starts feeling like cleanup from last month. The fourth trap is social spending. When you're alone, money is easier to control, but around other people, spending becomes emotional. You say yes to a dinner you didn't plan, a gift you couldn't really afford, a trip you didn't want to miss, or a night out that costs more than you expected. You're not always trying to impress people. Sometimes you're just trying not to feel left out. And that's what makes this trap so quiet. It doesn't feel like showing off. It feels like being normal. The fifth trap is having no margin. No extra money, no extra time, no extra energy. When there's no margin, every small problem becomes expensive. A broken phone becomes a payment plan. A late bill becomes a fee. A stressful day becomes another expensive shortcut. Being broke isn't only about having less money. It makes every decision harder. You don't get to choose the best option. You choose the option you can survive today. And that's how people get stuck. Not because they're hopeless, not because they're bad with money forever, but because life gets built in a way that leaves no room to breathe. The small upgrades raise your costs. Convenience becomes your escape. Future money steals from your next paycheck. Social spending makes saying no feel impossible. And having no margin makes every problem more expensive. The way out usually isn't dramatic. You don't have to become rich overnight. You just have to create a little space. Cancel one thing you barely use. Cook a few meals instead of ordering every time. Wait before buying something on payments. Say no without giving a long explanation. Keep a small amount of money untouched, even if it feels too small to matter. At first, nothing looks different, but then the end of the month feels a little less scary. Then the next month gets a little easier. And slowly, money stops feeling like something that disappears the moment it arrives. Because the real goal isn't to look rich, it's to have space. Space to think, space to choose, and space to stop living like every paycheck is already gone.